Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Iron Man 2020. I thought it would be cool to go ahead and close out this crazy year we've been having with this figure. Now, if you guys want to pick this character up, he is, as I said, a Walgreens exclusive, but I haven't seen him there in the last couple times I have gone to Walgreens, but you can always check the secondary market. I checked all the online spots. Nowhere to be found. But first and foremost, please always first support your local comic shop and see if they have one of these in stock, and you can get it that way. Now, as you see here, you see the figure comes with all these cool looking accessories. You get Marvel Legends there, Iron Man 2020. I like the cogs there. I think that looks super fancy. And you get this nice little varnish Iron Man there on the top. Come around to the side, and I again love this artwork. If anybody knows who the artists are that do these Marvel Legends box, let me know, because I'd love to follow their artwork. I think this is absolutely beautiful. Come around here to the back, get a beautiful product shot and a read-up. I'll make sure to get close up so you can look at it at your convenience. Come back around here to the side, same beautiful artwork. Come around here to the front, there's the figure. Bottom, all the legal, who cares? But what we do care about is this Iron Man 2020 an awesome figure or not? So let's go ahead and get him open and get a closer look. And here's Arno Stark out of the packaging. And for this type of figure, as you see him posed here, just a really well-made piece. I was hesitant when I picked it up, like I saw it at Walgreens, and I just kind of picked it up on a fly because I've never really heard of this character, but I liked that the armor was kind of the homage to Tony Stark's, I think it was Mark II armor. Kind of has that old school feel to it with a futuristic take. And so that's what kind of drove me to go ahead and pick this up. And as you can see, everything looks really nice. I love the accessories that he comes with. And that was kind of, I think, one of the selling points that a lot of figure collectors wanted from this piece. And I think that's why he was popular when he came out. But overall, very nicely made. There are maybe a couple things that kind of bite my butt, and we'll get into that in a moment. But now that we've had a moment to kind of just see him in his entirety out of the packaging, let's get him off the stand and look more into him. So some backstory on the Iron Man 2020. Arno Stark's first appearance is Machine Man 2020 #2 from November 1984. And he was created by Tom DeFalco and Herb Trimpe. Now I'd like to get my hand on that book and do a review on it. If you guys have one that you wouldn't mind donating to the club, let me know and we can work something out and I'll do a review on it because it'd be kind of interesting because I don't know squat about the 2020 character in terms of the comic books. But with that said, that's kind of him in a nutshell. He's the future, I think, first cousin of Tony Stark, the son of Morgan Stark, takes over Stark Industries, and instead of being a superhero and an Avenger, everything that Iron Man stood for, he uses his power to create corporate espionage. And that's what he uses the Iron Man suit for. So you're just kind of like, whoa. It's kind of a far cry from like what you see with X-Men 2099 or Spider-Man 2099, which are completely different, but this is a future alternate reality. So that's kind of the backstory. With that said, let's look at the accessories. First, let's go ahead and look at the repulsor ray hands. Oop. There goes one. We'll go ahead and use the other one. Fell on the floor. I'm not going to bend over to pick it up. We'll just use this one. So the one thing that drives me nuts about these is they do not articulate. So you cannot move it up and down, which is like, oh, come on. Because you want to be able to use these and put them in different positions. But nonetheless, I'm glad that when you put it in, it fleshes up with his hand so it doesn't look like it's off or anything. So both these and the fisted hands that we see here, they look very well. I like all the lines through it. Let me see if I can get a closer look at it for you guys. So, it looks actual armor, so it's really well painted. So no complaints there other than the flap and articulation. It's just, it is what it is. So there's those. And then what's new with these that I like are these explosions. These things are nice. Now let me see if I can get some light down on them because this is super bright. Nope, not going to let me. Let me see if I turn that off. Nope. What about this one? Yeah, it looks a little bit better. So there's more orangish as you can see there. And I like that when you put both of them together. It took me a minute to figure this out, but they connect. So it adds a little bit of stability when you put him up on that, so that's cool. And I just like that, even though it's just straight up fire, you know, like these flames flipping up, whoosh, whoosh, very well painted. I kind of wish they maybe would have added a little bit of smoke on it somewhere. I don't know where they would have done that, but that would have been good. And then what's cool is you take these, which are really nice, has that yellow and orange. Looks almost like a pumpkin. You stick that in there like so, and that's how you get Iron Man to do that, or you just take these out and make this look like a repulsor array. But I like that if you want to put them on a shelf, if you're not a photographer and you just want to pose them, you have that option. That is a really cool idea. So I think that's what was really the allure of this figure, was more the accessories than the figure himself, which is kind of sad. That's why I wish on the read-ups they would get more in depth, like they would like a trading card, where, you know, they kind of give you their first appearance and more of a bio. That would be a really cool idea, Hasbro, because that way, you know, people that aren't in the know could start to appreciate these characters like a lot of the comic book readers are. So that's a really neat idea, that you get options, you know what I mean, instead of everything being attached together. And just, I love that yellow to orange on both of these, just a really nice idea. And then the repulsor rays, you know, we've seen these a million times before, but what I like about these, I don't know if any other figure before this had this option, but you can actually pop this off and get like another repulsor ray effect. So let me get a focus because it's all blurry. There you go. And of course it has that kind of orange to yellow look. So I like that. I really appreciate when they give you options, so that when you want to do posing for photography or just on your shelf, you can either just slide it in there like so, and you're good to go. So those are the accessories for this figure. Very cool ideas. Now, as for Arno Stark himself, let me click back on my lights so we can get an up close on him. Boop and boop. The only thing about this character that I don't like is the face. I mean, you kind of can see the eyes, and that's kind of okay. Like I said, I like the idea of the homage to the Mark II armor, and the eyes are okay, but it's the mouth that starts to put it off, because it has like these teeth. So it just looks like something you'd see like in an 80s robot horror, where he's like, nom, 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 going to eat all humans, consume mass quantities. I know it's a Conehead reference, don't make fun of me. Just kidding. But the reds and the golds are very nice. I like the way that, you know, you get the little bumps here for the ears. I like the lines around the neck. That looks good. And then what is really cool, before we go over any more, is this chest piece. If you can't find that 80th anniversary Iron Man, which is what this is based off of, and you just kind of want to mod this one, so you don't need an Arno Stark, is you take the arms forward like so, and then you pop here, and you slide it off, kind of like you would like a backpack or something, which is cool. I like, again, when they give you options. So we'll look at this real quick. I like that red there in the center. That's really neat. I kind of wish that they would do something like translucent so it would light up. That'd be a really neat idea. I like these cogs just like they do with the logo. That's a really neat idea, and you can see where everything just kind of pops in on his chest, and it's not hard to put back on. So you just take him, grab his arms, slide it back over everything, and everything just very well pops into place. So you have that option. And what's neat, I forgot to show, is, is this right here is translucent. So let me kind of pop that up. Again, it'd been kind of neat if they would been able to put a hole somewhere in him where you can get some light through there, and just let that arc reactor light up. That would have been a really cool idea. That would have given us, again, more options, which are always nice. So let's pop that back where everything belongs, and we're good to go. And the only downfall with these cogs too is it makes it hard to put his arms further down. So he kind of has this sort of V thing going on, but we'll get further into that later. I like the belt. I think that's kind of cool. It has that neat little data or whatever, you know, kind of like future look. That's a neat idea. And then on the sides, I like this cog. And this is kind of cool. It has like a blade, as where Iron Man, the original one, just had the, you know, stuff that looked more like bumps or whatever. I don't know if they were supposed to be, just kind of future technology look. And then again, just that red. I like this dark red that they use. Just really helps when you're doing photography. And the way it just shimmers in the light, that is so nice. Boots have that old school look about them. You know, they have that big flap here. I forget what that's called. They have the lines on the feet, just like on the hands. Good stuff there. on the back. Same thing on the boot. Just a really well painted figure overall. That mouth, cannot stand the mouth. But overall, the paint apps and the ideas that they give you more options by being able to take that off, just a really cool idea. Now, articulation-wise, they did a good job on this guy. So check this out. The head, go down about that much. Head, because he's a flying character, can go up that much. He's on that peg, so you can knock it back and forth. Get a little bit of play here. Can look that way, look that way. Arm does 360, goes up that way, and then of course that way as well. Double jointed elbows. And then at least with the fist hands, this is what I was talking about a moment ago, where I wish the repulsor hands were articulated. At least on this character, the hands can go up. And not so much down, but at least you get some articulation. That's why I kind of wish they would have done something with the repulsor hands, because more than likely that's the hands that you're going to use overall instead of the fisticuff ones, unless you're going to do like a fist fight, and all that good stuff. So the arms, thankfully, upper bicep swivel. And then he does not articulate at the wrist, except here, but none of this moves except right there at the swivel, so it is what it is there. Can twist that way. I'm glad that these things are not attached, so you can at least twist them so you can get some dynamicness going on, so you're not just like, sit. Ab crunch, very well down. Back ab crunch, very well that way as well. Legs can go, good stuff there. Upper thigh cut, thankfully. And he does have a boot cut, which is always welcome because that helps. McFarlane Toys, hope you're listening. Feet can go up that much, feet can go down that much. And then of course, thankfully, like with all new figures, great ankle pivot. So yeah, the only thing that I was talking about a moment ago is I wish these cogs, when you have it on, it makes it harder for his arms to go all the way down. So that's something you're gonna have to deal with unless you just want to take this off and say forget it. So at least, even though you can't move his arms all the way down with the cogs on, at least you have the option of taking it off so you can get more dynamic range. For a size comparison, here's the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends Thanos and the Marvel Legends 3-pack Love Triangle Wolverine. And as you can see, he scales very well. He's in the normal, I think, 6.5 stance. Of course, Wolverine is the smaller one called the Runt. And then, of course, Thanos, being large and in charge, just dominates both of them. So when you put these on a shelf, you know, these figures are going to look great together. Or, you know, if you want to do photography, you're going to get some great ideas. And I'm glad that Hasbro and a lot of these newer figures are paying attention to scaling so that not everybody is the same size like the older toys that a majority of us older folks grew up with. So that's an exciting point for all of us, because then, you know, you don't have to worry about things looking out of scale, which is something that's really important when you're doing a lot of shooting. So yeah, and just they look beautiful and comic book accurate. I know they have movie versions out, but that's not my cup of tea. I like to find things that look like the source material. So yeah, Arno Stark, I'd love to know more about him. I'm going to have to go dig and find some more backstory on him. But again, like I said, what really drew me to him was that it looked like Tony Stark's old armor. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think of these figures. And if you want to see reviews on the 3-pack and this Thanos, let me know down in the comments. Overall, the Iron Man 2020 is a great action figure. I wish I knew more about Arno Stark so that I could appreciate it more in depth, like a lot of the characters that I have read growing up and I've reviewed the figures for. That's why I kind of lean more towards those. But I saw this one, loved the homage to the original Tony Stark armor, and that's what inspired me to get this one. If you all know the reading order for the Iron Man 2020, let me know down in the comments so I can go back and read it and try to appreciate this character more in depth in that way. But if you want a cool Iron Man figure that's very well articulated and has some really nice pieces and some awesome accessories, I definitely recommend this one right here. Now, if you've enjoyed this figure, we really would say please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if they have one in stock. If not, then you can go the other routes that we talked about earlier on. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you can possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Iron Man bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys can come to the channel. And we love talking with y'all and hearing your feedback down in the comments or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description below. So stand by, photo slideshow coming up next. And with that said, I hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.